You all look like you're doing pretty alright.
Flick seems pleased.
Oh, I'm waiting for...
Bro, you might as well join us and grab some of this stuff. Wait, do your kind enjoy alcohol?
I mean, you've seen me drink it before.
Yes, but what does it do for you?
Freya slowly equips book and pen.
I mean, I don't know, it passes the time. It lingers on the tongue.
Does it cause any kind of jubilation?
If you mean does it end with me with my head in a receptacle, then not really.
No, by the twins, no. Why would that ever happen? You'd have to you have to drink yourself into a stupor for that to happen. I mean, does it alleviate those senses of dread and existentialism and song that drive you to want to just destroy things?
I'm gonna go out on a limb here, but that sounds like a you problem.
Problem? No. Response? Yes.
I mean, technically, yes. If you're not handling it properly.
So, if I were to give you enough alcohol, you could potentially lighten up. No pun intended.
Honestly, I've never really tested that.
Well, we should try, good friend. After all, we just survived a harrowing encounter. What's not between a few friends to have a bit of alcohol between chums?
Halfway through Tibbs talking, Freya will dip her fingers into the drink and just flick it at Rose.
Yeah, you would see, like, I guess some of the droplets that get too close to Rose's hair, you do see those just tiny little puffs of flame for a brief instant. Then, excuse me.
Now, Phrase, no need to be saucy. He can get his own glass.
Just testing something. Goes back to eating and writing in her book.
Honestly, why don't you just loosen up a bit? Perhaps take a bit of that edge off of your burning fire and just relax, have a few drinks with us, enjoy the company. We're obviously stuck together for a little bit, let's be honest.
Give me a bottle and a skewer.
I mean, this requires no, but Tiberius will do the thing, motioning to the individuals and pointing to the primordial and being like, bottle the whole thing, yes. I want to see him drunk.
Even though we're actually getting served non-alcoholic drinks, technically.
Only Darius is getting served non-alcoholic.
Oh, I thought they all were.
Nope. From Nova's description, it was literally slid under the table to poor Varius that he's not going to have a fun time tonight. I mean, non-alcoholic.
Yep. Yeah, Rose will, yeah, in that case, Rose would flag someone down and get poured a drink there, and, yeah, we'll go ahead and take some, a side of dragon with that.
I mean, out of character.
The dragon's at a different stall.
This is only vegetation. But out of character, Tiberius is totally trying to figure out who the hell just cut him with a goddamn sword, and Rose knows who that is. So he's trying to liquor up Rose to get an idea.
Oh.
That's out of character.
Yes.
Trying to put a little butter on the pan.
Remember, everything Tiberius does has a reason. You might not know what it is, but there's a reason behind it, and it's terrifying.
Yeah, Rose, just for a little bit of fun, we'll take a little swig, and then we'll just kind of blow on a small plume of fire above them.
Oh, does he color it?
I would think it would just match the. I guess that would depend more on the booze itself, because I mean, different boozes can burn different colors.
Yes and no. It also depends on the source of the flame.
Rose would. I don't know. Rose is clean burning, natural.
Well, no, what I'm saying is, even if you're clean burning, the alcohol content will change that. But if you change the constitution of the flame, it actually changes the burn color of the alcohol.
Nerd.
Reyes? As? I'm shaking my fist at you. But yeah, I'm just saying, like, for RP flavor, you know, Freyes can actually make fire burn at different colors depending on how he wants to make it. Yeah.
Rose, not Freus.
Sorry, for Rose. I'm sorry, Rose. Freyes has to consume it in order for her to change the colors.
I just imagine Tibbs is so drunk it's making you drunk and seeing the wrong person.
I mean, I'm 2 my drinks in, and one of my drinks will generally put someone on the floor, so maybe. I'm trying to stay in character. There has to be a happy buzz at this point.
I'll say for the hell of it, because you know it's wind and it's green tones or everything around here. Rose would bend the flame to have more of a greenish hue.
Nice.
Oh,
Tell me, Rose, that person with the sword that did the whole cutting up thing and almost killed Various over there. No mention of himself. You seem to have known him. Care to elaborate?
I figure I was gonna come to this. Rose just kind of slowly glances around and makes sure none of the other camaraderie are focused on their table, and then leans in a little bit.
Oh, quite hush hush.
Yeah, because look, I don't quite entirely remember the circumstances behind it, but another time I worked under Enno.
You worked under him. I don't know if that's a soliloquy of the language. Does that mean that you were his underling or that you were his lover?
How loud are you being?
Are you seeing Tiberius or Rose?
I know Rose is whispering, but how loud is Tibbs being?
Tibbs is being Tiberius. I don't know what the question is.
Frey is just sitting there trying to eat and act not suspicious.
You have to understand, Tiberius is very good at the political game. The problem is he doesn't give a shit right now. So everything is his outdoor voice.
We did not.
Various is gonna just take up their skewers and down their drink, leave the empty glass, and wander off.
Guys, where are you going? We're getting to important questions here.
Freus will chug her glass, put them aside, as well as Varius's, just because they asked nicely to clean up, and follow after.
Well, that's just rude. Well, it's you and I, Rose, so speak candidly.
I meant I worked under him. I worked for the guild formerly.
Oh.
Wait, you worked for the ones that were trying to kill us?
As far as I don't know, whatever constitutes neurons in my head goes, yes, there were some things that resurfaced seeing Enno there.
So, you worked for him. what exactly did he do, and what did you do for him? Because that could give us an idea as to exactly what we need to do to, you know, how do I put this? Kill him. Yes. Unless that would be against your code.
Well, you mean you saw that handiwork that he did back in the temple there.
Yes, the murdering of tens, if not hundreds of individuals, yes, in order to fuel his terrible cycle of whatever those monstrosities were. And without Various and Freys here, I believe we can be quite candid with one another. Don't have to worry about dancing around jargon or other things, but yes.
Look, you gotta just... I figured that... Basically, if there's anyone the guild has a problem with, he's sent in to make an example of them.
And yet he didn't kill us, so I imagine we'll be seeing him again.
Most likely. But the point is that I was the one who, as far as I can remember, I would have relayed to him who those problem people were. I was basically a informant of his, so to speak.
And does he know who you were? I mean, no, I'm not trying to offend you, of course, but in your previous life, before you became this fiery being of, well, contentiousness, pardon the words, but truth be truth, does he know that you were that person?
He mentioned something about that I looked vaguely familiar, but as far as I can gather, he doesn't recognize me in this form.
Ah, we could use that to our advantage. If you recall anything about your previous, we'll say, engagements with this Emil individual, perhaps we can use that to gain a leverage against him and cause him to be off balance next time he tries to skewer one of us with his giant sword of death.
Yeah, that would be nice to have the upper hand in some way.
Go on, think about it. Is there anything that really threw him off? Perhaps saying his mother's maiden name? Perhaps, I don't know, a certain drink that really got him to get in the spirit or the mood? You can speak candidly. Again, Various isn't here.
Nope. Basically, he was 100% all business all the time. Like, nothing about...
And was he working with the guild before you died?
I mean, yeah, I was... I mean, yeah, obviously he was, because I served under him. And that was... before I became this.
So, let me understand this, and point this into a perspective. You would point out troubles akin to ourselves that were against the guild for him to go and dispatch. Is that correct?
Right.
And then you died. I'm not exactly sure how that happened, but you then died. And who did he get to replace you?
Hell if I know. Between kicking the bucket and then, I've had no other engagements with him or with the guild in general.
But you know how he functions, which means he needs someone to feed him information as to whom he has to dispatch, correct?
I mean, yeah, I figure that's still their modus operandi.
So if we find out who replaced your position in the court, I don't know the terminology, but let's say the court. If we find out who replaced your position in the court, we could go after that individual, feed them false information, and have him lured out to a place that we could determine the exact role of our engagement.
I mean, that's
back, by the way, just figured I'd let you know.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry about that.
Ooh, what did you eat for supper?
Eggnog French toast.
with cheese?
What?
Ooh.
What? You've never had French toast and cheese?
No.
Yeah, he
No.
does that. It's weird.
My God, you are missing out on life. You are missing out on
No,
life.
hon, their taste buds aren't burnt like yours.
Woman, you must have cheese with French toast.
No.
Oh, wait. Time out. Maple syrup or table syrup?
Maple.
Okay.
There's only
Then
one syrup.
Then you need cheese.
God damn it.
No.
I don't.
Try it.
You remember what the cheese
If
in the US is
if
like.
cheese doesn't,
Oh.
the thing is, cheese destroys my lower digestive tract. So.
Yeah, you have the lactose intolerance thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so maybe not you, Nova. But anyone
Anyway.
listening, French toast and cheese. If you don't have lactose problems that will cause your insides to revolt against you, try it.
Anyway, we'll be talking about Rose's old employer.
Mm-hmm.
We are talking about Rose's previous employer, and we're trying to figure out a way of entrapping him by finding out who took Rose's place and then feeding them false information.
Interesting deduction.
Of course, this is Tiberius feeding this, so Rose is probably insulted to all hell at this point.
Actually, being enlightened to this, Rose should begin to kind of think a little bit more on the fact. Actually, a pit begins to form in your stomach. You know you would have been replaced. Probably with someone more loyal, no doubt. More radical, sometimes. But the fact that someone might be following you worries you. Because the guild has spies everywhere. They can be anyone. There's even cases where they bound primordials to act as unwilling spies. Problem is you don't know exactly how to find them.
It could be you, it could be you, it could be you, it could even be me. Man, I hope it's not me.
You know what would go well with like a sweet cheese, like one of those with blueberries.
Yeah.
Cream cheese.
It
I've
would
had
go
cream cheese French toast. It hurt, but it was so delicious.
Well, not cream cheese. There are actually some cheeses that are sweet.
I don't know.
Yeah, I've seen cheeses with like cranberries in them.
See?
Oh,
It- It's not that crazy.
Like regular, I wouldn't put cheddar on French toast.
No. Don't put cheddar on French toast. But a Velveeta or a Swiss is actually divine.
Maybe Swiss. I'm not Velveeta.
A sharp cheddar is actually really good. Yeah, let's go back to the game.
Yeah, let's go back to the game.
But yeah, Rose does straighten up a little bit and looks over to Tibbs. Anyways, why don't we continue this discussion later?
But it's just you, myself, and he slowly looks at the Fae. Clicks. When else will we talk about this? We are sitting here enjoying a meal, having some liquid encouragement, and I'm simply asking a question as to how we can get up on hand on the person who's trying to kill us. And you, Rose, my good sir, or Primordial, could give us all that information if you would just open up to us. He pours a bit more alcohol into Rose's drink.
Open up your
Everyone heard that.
All right, that was in character.
When did Flix get here? What the shit?
We're just here now. It happens.
Yeah, they spoke up earlier.
Yeah.
I know. This is just one of those things like, oh, never mind, it's Flix.
Rose is too tall. Didn't notice.
Tiberius is
Yeah.
too short. Didn't notice.
Exactly.
Look, I'll answer best I can, just not in public, not out here, not now.
Rose, no one is paying attention.
That's
I'm a
what
hockey
you.
kid.
That's what you think. Look, okay, so probably figured it.
Perception.
Hmm?
Roll
What?
me a perception.
Who?
All of you that are talking at the stall right now.
Oh.
Oh.
Please don't be me. This will end horribly for Tiberius. Oh, son of a bitch!
Flicks.
Alright, waiting on Flicks.
Tiberius, the one getting liquored up, rolls a goddamn 17.
It just gives him more clarity the drunker he gets.
I mean, that is very in character. Oh my god. He's a really functional alcoholic.
Okay, Rose, you're trying to keep your voice down, and you're always on the lookout, but you don't quite notice anything off. Neither do you, Flick, so you're just kind of popped up, and you're like, oh, hey, they're enjoying some food and some booze, and they seem to be whispering a lot. I wonder what's going on. Tips, though, you've been in a situation like this before. You've had to deal with spies from other parts of the family. You've had to deal with people listening in for weakness in the light. And you do kind of notice from the corner of your eye from another stall, there is someone that seems to be observing you. They're observing you in a way that doesn't look inconspicuous at first, but someone who has been trained to deal with subterfuge through personal experience, you know exactly what they're doing. You can't tell if they're an outsider or not. From the looks of it, actually, they look to be a primordial, more specifically, a matter primordial. But they have been watching you.
So Tiberius is going to play it up to try and see if they're looking for the juicy tidbits. He's going to try and pull more out of Rose while keeping that side glance on the matter primordial.
Mm-hmm.
Go on, Rose. Tell us more. I mean, no one. We're at a stall in the middle of wind. No one's going to be listening, and he's going to kind of like wink and ear point subtly, if that's even a thing, towards matter primordial.
Is this just something I would just like casually notice on Tips then?
Yes. You notice he's acting a little funnier.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, please. No one would listen in. Wink to what we're talking about. Wink. Ear point. Yes, I did. Quiet.
All right, give me. Yeah, Rose looks back over to Tibbs then. All right.
You're in a paranoia get a hold of you. Have more alcohol that impairs your wisdom, and talk to me about these things you know.
Okay, you know what? Here's what Rose is going to do. Rose is going to grab the rest of her glass, slam back a shot, put it face down.
Tiberius' glass?
No, Rose's own glass.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah, about to say, Tibbs has a tankard.
Yeah, no, I meant to say Rose's glass. But yeah, downs the rest of it, slams it upside down on the table. All right, fine. It was a terrible businessman. We didn't even get any benefits. And Rose is just gonna start to pretend of getting a little bit, tipsy and upset.
Mm-hmm.
So we didn't even get hazard pay for all Father's sake.
No, not even dental.
Oh, you. Let me just say, those two buck teeth of yours? Cherish them.
I quite do. Tiberius is keeping a very watchful eye on the primordial while trying to remain conspicuous.
Also the robes. The robes shaped so badly.
And they don't really leave much to the imagination. Far too much flow, not enough cling. You know what I mean?
And there's not really any reaction. They're just watching you.
Oh, wait. Oh, get some of this booze here. Let's talk this out like men.
Slow look at Flicks. Slow look back at Rose. Yes. Men. What? You've got wings. Point. Your hair is more sparkly than my mother's gown. Yeah, that's beside the point, but yes.
We can't hear you, by the way, Flicks.
Oh, sorry. Then maybe your mother should have had better gowns and not been such a harlot.
I like you.
I would like to. Also, while I'm doing this, I want to cast message towards Tibbs.
Okay.
And let me pull this up here. Okay. I just want to make sure there wasn't any weird restrictions, but yeah, Rose is gonna basically communicate through magic to Tibbs then. Assuming that you have an eye on whoever has attention on us, anything you can do that can spook him out?
There's just a smile.
Rose would just play along and nod over to Tibbs then while downing another shot.
Yeah, go on. I mean, you've been replaced. Surely that must stoke some kind of professional grudge within you, don't you think, Rose?
Well, I'm going to assume that whoever did so doesn't know the first thing about
Oh my
keeping a
God.
low profile, if you know what I mean.
No, I don't. Please go on. Poor Various. Oh, God! Oh,
Okay, I would like to do this real quick as we kind of the camera
Yeah.
pans to Various, literally about to punch into a tree. He's not aware of his strength. Maybe it might be the buildup of everything that has happened, the strength he's gained in recent weeks. But you slam your fist into this tree. Maybe it was more brittle than you thought it was, and it goes through the bark, through the tree, and out the other side. You've punched a hole into a tree. Roll me a flat 1d20 after that, as you pull your hand back. Interesting. As you kind of pull your hand back, you don't receive any splinters, but you realize that you, instead of punching through a solid piece of the tree, you've punched through what looked to have been a small cavity in the tree. You notice that it goes a little bit deeper. Something's inside of there.
Freyas was just afraid what she saw. She's going to back up and get behind a different tree.
Careful, that tree might have a cavity.
Natara, your mic is bleeding. Thank you.
He sort of
You notice that the tree is hollow.
he looks tired, but he sort of peeks in, making sure that he didn't just accidentally destroy something's nest.
You look in and you actually see what looks to be a old, kind of slightly worn bracelet inside. Looks to be copper, but you can definitely tell that's because of the rust. With a bit of cleaning, it might look gold.
He frowns for a moment and picks it up.
Okay. You received a rusted, unidentified bracelet.
We should punch trees more often.
I have to reward the nat 20. That was beautiful.
You could make a crafting table now.
Please tell me. Please tell me there's no like initials on the goddamn bracelet.
No.
Thank you,
It's-
twins.
There seems to be a spark of magic inside of it, though. You can definitely tell in the sheen.
No.
Yes.
He sort of looks at it and breathes out and slowly sits at the base of the tree. He looks just exhausted, and he pulls out something else from his pack. The little puzzle box, or the little locked box from before,
Mm-hmm.
and he's going to just try and distract himself by starting up a ritual to probably use prestidigitation to try and clean up the bracelet and also try to identify these objects.
Sounds good. Sounds Good. I'm trying to remember exactly what the puzzle box was. I need to look it up. Somewhere in my notes. So while I look for that, let's pan briefly back to the others.
Mm-hmm. Say, Tibbs, where? Can you get us some more of this drink here? I seem to be having a hard time remembering what stall it was exactly. Perhaps you could go find that and find the person who brought it to you.
Oh, yes, quite easily. Give me a second. A little tipsy myself. Wink. As he's going to get up and,
What? Oh my god.
I love that we occasionally get it through.
It's
All
amazing.
right. Okay, so Jen, it's not a puzzle box, it's a jewelry box.
Oh, right.
It's okay.
So, yeah, Tiberius is going to try and deke around different crowds to use alter self to make himself look like a different kind of outsider.
Okay. Let's say, as you do that, that's what I was about to do, actually. You kind of catch eye briefly with one of the rice cake makers, and you're like, you know what, that will do. And they're kind of this little white fox creature. And they're definitely an outsider. They're not a primordial.
A fox. Oh, carnivore. Ooh. No, that's fine. That's fine. That's good.
Yeah.
They'll never see it coming.
So, what do you plan to do with this? Exactly.
Tibbs kind of plans on playing it up like they were a waiter or otherwise servant type, and offering the matter primordial something to eat or drink, perhaps.
Sure, go ahead and give that a try. So you use alter self to make yourself look like this little waiter fox.
Yep.
Okay. And you approach the matter primordial. They're at one of the booths that has what looks to be shaved ice in a way, and most of theirs is half eaten. But suffice to say, they do notice you. They have a total of like 5 eyes, one in the middle of their head and 2 on each side of their face. They seem to be made mostly out of bones. They seem like the typical matter primordial with the reddish skin, the gold bangles all over the place, but their hair seems to be made almost like a dreadlock of bones, as well as their outfit being more ritualistic in looks. But they definitely notice you.
Do I see Tibbs at all during this, or do I lose sight of him once he transforms?
What's your passive perception?
Passive is 13.
Oh yeah, you probably keep track of them. It's just a matter of if you're trying to hide the fact that you're watching from the matter primordial. And since they're distracted by Tibbs, I'll give you advantage on that if you want to roll stealth.
Yeah, so if I get the chance to see that the matter's, like, all the matter's eyes are focused on Tibbs, I'm going to then duck under a table.
Okay. So go ahead and roll me stealth at advantage.
Mm-hmm. And also, I'm going to use this for proficiency.
1-1.
Please, sweet Jesus, no.
Don't jinx it.
Oh, son of a bitch!
Wow! I mean, that's technically a 6.
I'm staring at Tiberius.
Yeah, you tried to hide under the table, but you actually wound up hitting your knee, so you're kind of sitting there in your chair going.
Oh God!
At least
And
you
their
didn't set it
eyes
on
do-
fire.
At least been set on fire, but the matter primordial still does know that you are there, Rose.
Upon
You're
this,
not
I'm gonna
hiding.
like quickly fumble around and try to grab my glasses. Like, oh, there you are, precious.
You jinxed it. Good job. So,
Oh,
Tibbs, would you like to, the Matter Primordial just is looking at you. He hasn't said anything.
G'day, mate. Yeah, it seems like you need something to drink.
I'm perfectly fine, thank you.
Ah, then something to eat then.
You see all 5 of the eyes go to their bowl, then back at them. It's like, I already have something to eat.
Yeah, but you don't like that you're enjoying that. Come on, I can get you something better.
I'd appreciate
not
if you
there.
left me alone.
All right. I'm just trying to offer you something better than shaved ice or anything like that. But if you want, anything you need?
No. Now, I'd appreciate it if you please left me alone. I'm quite busy.
Busy with what? Hey?
And you kind of see the Matter Primordial reach out, grab you by the head, and turn you around. So a little whoop, and then kind of turns back.
I understand when I'm not wanted and you're quite busy. I'll be on my way. Tavares is going to try and disappear behind another crowd and return to Rose, who has completely flubbed his ability.
Considering the fact it turned into a fox-like creature, the ears are still there technically, so.
What was that exactly?
That was me trying to get sight to get a better position.
Right, well, I believe you've completely blown our ability of being undercover, so I suggest you go and apprehend that individual over there and figure out exactly what he's spying on us for.
After you say that, you see the Matter Primordial actually set his spoon into the little bowl he's had. He sets it on the other side of the counter and gets up and starts moving away.
See, now he's running away because of you. Do we ever have our level 4 spells yet?
Do you?
We haven't had a long rest. I'm going to say no.
You have not had a long rest, no.
Fine. I have
Let's see.
one free spell left, so I'm just going to place a paw on Rose and cast haste. And that's my last level 3, so you better fucking use it, Rose.
Oh. Tibbs, if you remember correctly, you're still affected by wild magic. You're a wild magic sorcerer, so please roll that for me.
No.
Yes.
Dimension door.
Tiny no.
You're fine.
God.
You're fine. The one time you roll high is when you're drunk.
Woo! Alcohol saves everyone.
Oh no.
Shut up, you.
Yeah, you cast haste on Rose.
Dun, 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 dun.
Alright.
So this will turn out great.
Out of character. Fix your mistake. God damn it.
I'm
Okay.
sure this will be fine.
Alright, do I still is the Matter Primordial completely outside, or do I see at least what direction they went in?
He's not running away, he's just walking, so you can still see them.
Alright. Let's see here. Yeah, I'm just going to... you know what? Hell with it. I'm going to just go on and snag Tibbs' bottle and start in that direction.
Okay?
Hey! God damn it, I've cast haste on him. I can't even stop him from doing this.
And what do you plan to do with that?
I'm just going to start kind of, sorry my words, a little bit. It's like, hey, pal, buddy, don't I know you somewheres?
They ignore you.
But, oh, come on, that's no need to do that. I'm still continuing after them.
Okay.
With the haste speed there. It's like, oh, come on, can I get a look at your face there? I know you from somewhere. Weren't you at weren't you at one of those Foundry festivals? Come on.
You see the Matter Primordial suddenly stop in his tracks and turns to look at you. You can cut the act. Primordials can't get drunk.
Oh, phew, thank you. I hate making that voice.
What do you want?
What do you want?
Now that you're actually standing in front of them, Rose, you notice that there's no collar binding on them, as most primordials under the guild's hold do have. Instead, you see the sigil of Madarakt on their robes.
No.
This is not a spy for the guild. In fact, as you see the symbol, you realize they work for Madarakt.
Oh no.
Oh, you're super legit. This is out of left field.
I was sent to look after the strange people who have been moving around the plains and dealing with issues to see exactly what they are up to, what they're planning. Lo and behold, one of them has information on the guild. I was quite intrigued about that, which is why I was listening to you. Curious that you would know things like this.
I didn't realize we were that beloved.
I wouldn't use that word.
Quite.
Regardless, this is information I will be taking back to my lord. Expect some attention from him in the future. And he immediately turns and starts to walk away.
Nice seeing you. Nice seeing you again.
Chip's just having a breakdown. Or at least Chippy is.
So, yeah. How are you gonna explain that to Tibbs and everyone else there, Rose?
Well,
I don't know how they came across this information.
Well, you see, like a lot of typical things in life, you take this one step at a time. First you're left, then you're right, you're left after another moment, and then the other right.
And then fuck!
Is Rose back to the table?
Eventually, yes. I mean, it's not going to take long with haste there.
And he probably doesn't look like he has a very good look on his face. Probably a look of, oh, oh.
I'm guessing he got away.
No, we engaged with one another, and hands back the bottle to Tibbs. You're gonna need that. Well, it seems like we have the Matter Lord's attention now.
Who by the twins is that?
Big trouble. Yeah, Rose, you know that's big trouble. Very big trouble.
Oh, Leonard's gonna love this.
More specifically, Rose, especially since you're a primordial, you have the communal knowledge, you are acutely aware. Madarakt hates outsiders, especially outsiders that meddle in primordial affairs. Whenever it tends to be outsiders that are doing said things, he tends to get on them about it. And fast.
I would strongly suggest from this point forward that the lot of you especially try to keep a lower profile. Because, let's just say that the Matter Lord eats outsiders for breakfast if given the slightest reason to do so.
Well, that would be a wonderful suggestion, Rose, but how exactly you plan on doing this when we find ourselves in the exact epicenter of whatever is going on in these goddamn planes.
What I mean is, maybe we should be a little more, not quite as boastful in public.
Okay, I believe I'm understanding what you're saying. What you're saying is that the next place we should stop is, was it called Nata?
I mean, that's a nice idea if you wish to get chewed down by the scenery.
What?
Let's just say of all the planes here, the Matter one is the least inviting to outsiders.
Right, but here's the thing. We know that this magic tomfoolery is happening across every one of the planes. Perhaps assisting those in Mata with their problem, because twins know we're going to be stuck doing that, might be to our best benefit. Where is Darius and Preus? Honestly, this is not the time to go and stroll.
That's a good question. Would you like to go look for them? Or would they like to be found, is the better question.
Yes, and probably no.
Preus is currently wanting to hide from something she just saw.
Let's actually pan briefly back to Freus and Varius. Varius, since you've completed your ritual, you have determined that the jewelry box is... You, in fact, were able to discover it quite quickly as you opened it up, and the only thing you could see inside was a black void. So you're like, huh. So you decided to stick your hand into it, and your entire arm went in, but came out completely clean. You discovered that that jewelry box is a jewelry box of holding.
Oh!
But then you kind of look at the bracelet. The bracelet is a little worn, but it does have magic that is empowering. You kind of realize after you clean it up and kind of get done polishing it up a little bit more and identifying the magic that binds it, you realize that anyone wearing this might have become more durable. It adds +2 AC to anyone wearing it.
I feel like that would be better for someone else, but at the same time, my armor class is 11, so might be keeping that.
Never know. You have a bracelet of +2 armor and a jewelry box of holding.
Alrighty.
But yeah, you just punch a tree. You got a little bracelet out of it. You found out what the box is about. What would you like to do? And is Freya still cowering after watching Varius punch a hole in a tree?
She probably got maybe another 5 feet away, went to the other side of the tree, and sat down.
I'd be asking who the hell hid that in a tree.
You never know. You probably punched through any engravings that might have been there.
Oh no.
Yeah, Various. Well, way to not take into account the historic decor of the situation you just punched a hole into.
It belongs in a museum.
And it was
Quiet.
+2?
+2 of armor. +2 bracelet of armor.
You know, for the amount of time that Various gets punched in the face, he might want to wear that.
Yeah, you know.
Just saying.
This item does not require attunement, by the way. It can be used by anyone that's wearing it.
Hot potato.
This is a legendary item.
Oh.
What?
That means that there might be more to it.
No. That usually means sentience.
Now, is Freus in sight?
That's a good question.
No.
Freya.
She went to the other side of the tree of where Varius is. She is definitely giving him his space after seeing him punch clear through a tree.
Holy shit, those rabbits can punch through trees!
She is
Oh,
so
no.
used to seeing him whiff every punch, and then suddenly the one that does land
I'd like to point out,
destroys a tree, and she's like,
Freya's is used to
backs up.
watching various whiff punches against Tiberius.
Yeah.
Pay in mind that was also a nat 20. But
Yeah, but she doesn't know that.
I know, but
She's
the-
never
every
never
time-
seen the rabbit land a blow,
True.
and she's not sure what is going on.
Oh my god, reality has been broken by this rabbits!
But,
Circle.
yeah,
He's going
various.
to slip the bracelet on.
And you just feel a little bit sturdier after putting it on. Nothing immediately jumps out to you. Just feel a little bit sturdier.
Immediately is the goddamn keyword here.
He shuts his eyes, leaning his head back.
As you shut your eyes and lean your head back, you hear a familiar voice ring into your head. It's Pride. Is something the matter, Various?
A lot.
Would you like to talk about it?
Probably. Now, does he know that Frias is there?
Again, she's 10 feet away on the other side, and I believe you guys are talking telepathically, so...
Yes.
Probably.
Perhaps it's best you talk at a location where you might not be privy to listeners.
Probably.
You
Sadly,
might
it
find
seems like... Sorry.
It's alright. Go ahead.
Sadly, it seems like places like that are in short supply.
Perhaps. Though, perhaps your primordial friend, Rose, was it? Might be able to fix that if he was willing to. It's, well, let's just say primordials are able to acquire land here after all, to make their own homes. Most farmlings do after a couple of months.
It's a question of whether he'd be willing to do that and then share it with a lot of us.
True, very true. But if you need to talk, you know I'm right here.
Chan probably will. Probably getting close to the time I should start heading back to the portal. And he sort of stirs and starts to get up a little bit.
Now, Frias, are you watching Darius, or are you just hiding?
She's hiding, but she'll at least keep an ear out. So, standing up, okay, that's fine. Once they start sounding like they're walking away or going to walk up to them, she'll stand back up and at least be like, like, not obviously like trying to get their attention, but just like, I was here. Please don't hurt me.
That nervous laugh, like,
No, not even a peep.
Oh,
So
wow.
he's probably going to start walking back. Would Frias try to get his attention or just keep following at a distance?
Just keep following, but making it not like she's trying to hide anything now, but she's at least like 5 feet away, giving Various his distance, letting him calm down. She does not know what's going on, and especially with a blown up tree, she does not want to unleash that.
She's like, oh no, he is like Belua.
Bello gets his strength from somewhere?
Various pauses, glances behind him as he hears footsteps, but doesn't seem to. Just seems to look at Frias and for a moment before continuing on. He doesn't look like he wants to talk about anything.
And she definitely does get the hint and stays quiet, just making sure they aren't getting lost or getting picked up by someone, whatever.
No! Buttons! Batons!
Photons!
Batons.
Yes, I want
You
to
know
put
Tiberius would. This would be
But-
one of those situations where the buns would get into a fist fight.
Yeah. Yeah, and probably set the forest on fire.
Forest? The entire fucking market would be ablaze.
No, people, let's be cool and bring it off.
Oh, you're no fun.
But Various is gonna eventually make it back into the market, and I'm guessing.
They're still at the
There's-
stall.
Are they? I thought they were getting up and starting to look for people.
What are you
No.
guys doing?
Roast failed that and then came back with his tail tucked between his legs.
Oh!
I mean, that is accurate to what happened.
Not wrong.
And Tiberius is like, oh, we failed, didn't we? Second bottle, and down the hatch.
What's Flix think of this?
Yeah, what does Flix think?
What of all the drinking? He approves.
Well, the knowledge that apparently they were being spied on by Mata Rock.
Flix is trying to remember if that's the dude he might have potentially insulted at that first soiree. And it's like, this could be bad.
Yeah, you know at least from your tutoring with Jericho, usually when it comes down to handling Mataract, another Fey ambassador does it because he's
not to be trifled with.
No, he is scary, he is intimidating, and
Yeah.
let's just say Jericho has made sure
That's
that
why
you've dealt
Flix
with.
kind of like, flustered and exploded when he first met him.
Mm-hmm. When it comes down to dealing with Mataract, it's been another Fae that's done it because they had a bit more balls of steel, so to say. And even then, they always have horror stories about how difficult negotiations are with Mataract.
So Various and Frias are probably going to be heading back to the stall.
Okay.
Yeah, where did they go to?
Who?
I meant Farius and Frias.
As you say this, you start seeing them walk up.
And they probably went off to visit some kind of... Hello!
Let's just continue on to the Foundry. We can find the things we need there.
We can find more booze? Is that what you're saying?
Let's just go.
That wasn't a yes, Darius. If I didn't know better, I'd say that your drink didn't have any kind of oomph behind it. Burrows.
You
Frias
saw the
is-
man pour it.
Yes, and I've seen people made of fire recently, so I'd imagine that some kind of tomfoolery could be afoot.
Maybe I'm just a little bit sturdier than you give me credit for.
No, please.
Let's just go.
Yeah, let's get going here.
Fine, lead the way, Various, as you are the most steadfast of us all, right? Wouldn't want those family ties getting in the way.
Ooh.
I gotta make a roll.
As a player, I completely condone this. As Tiberius, he did this on purpose.
Let's see what happens.
Okay. He, for a moment, his fists clench up, and he looks like he's about ready to turn on Tiberius, only to turn away and start just storming off towards the portal.
What was that for? He requires it to continue being focused.
We can't hear you, Flix.
You need to shut your mouth right now before this gets out of hand. It might get out of hand. I mean, my hand upside your head again.
It's not about getting it out of hand. It's ensuring that he stays focused on the task.
Freya's just gently actually picks Tibbs up, puts him on the ground, is like, do not upset Various, please.
Nobody's made of glass. The man is more like stone than the rest of you, and you don't even understand it yet.
She leans down, gets like her face right in his ear. It's like, he just punched a tree down.
Oh, again? Really? That's what you're afraid of? The buck can call lightning from his fingertips, and you're afraid that he punched down bark. Really?
Not the bark. The whole tree.
Oh, please. I've seen him call down fire that would make your fur... Sorry, you don't have fur. I guess horns? Maybe flesh? Is it flesh you have?
She's just gonna grab him by the ear at this point and start dragging.
Tibbs' ears are getting abused today.
Why? A bit more. No, never mind. It's good.
Brings up a sign, stamps it in the ground, no fun allowed.
Is that with 2 or 3, like, hit a hammer to put it down in the ground?
So you guys are heading over to the portal?
Yep.
Tibbs doesn't have a fucking choice. He's being dragged. Pardon the F word.
You're fine. But
to be honest, we've already dropped the F-bomb a
multiple
couple times
during this campaign.
Have we? Okay, time out.
Well,
I've done it
this
once.
session.
Yeah, multiple times during the
once.
campaign.
Yeah, but we're allowed 1 per session. That's how the how does it go? FCCE?
Who cares?
You get 1 per 3 hours. So if we're within that, we're still within PG-13.
It's fine. I mean, considering the innuendos we've had.
I'm sorry, innuendos don't count. Have you seen the latest Teen Titans Go? Innuendos don't count.
Anyway, as you guys begin to head to the portal, the nightlife is still as it is. There's plenty of vendors open, plenty of food, plenty of booze. And you guys are now standing before a massive ebbing portal back to the Foundry. And you see people going to and from this with no problems.
Friends, please let go of my ears.
She'll let him have this one pleasantry.
He's gonna flex his ears to make sure that they're not damaged in a way from the fiend handling of his delicate lobes. Ah, thank you.
Various is not stopping. Various is just going through, unless he stopped.
Alright.
Well, I see Burroughs is in one of those moods of his.
And surprisingly, you make it through the portal completely unfazed. You wind up in the Wind District. No glitches, nothing weird.
Yay!
So you all wind up on the exact same place.
Woo.
And the Wind District is very similar to kind of how things were on the other side of the portal. Except, of course, there's no floating islands, and the air here does not smell super clean or anything. It just smells like a foundry.
Would you wait 2 hop-skipping seconds so we can speak?
Yeah, hop skipping.
What do you want?
I want to know where we're going next. We've certainly cleared the fire and the wind. Where do you plan on sending us next, Burroughs, exactly? You don't have a clue, do you?
Freya's will speak up and say, I was thinking water.
Why by the twins would we go to water? We can't even breathe water.
Yes, we can.
Well, maybe you can. Little Miss, I eat spiders.
At that exact moment, she'll cast breathe, water breathing, and suddenly everyone has it, just so that they can feel the spell.
Mhm.
All of a sudden, they start choking. They can't breathe air.
But no, Freya's
Freya's TPKs the party with water breath.
But Freya's, more importantly, as you come to the other side of the portal, you do see that there's actually a general shop here, but not in the night market. So there's actually a general shop set up here in the wind market, in the wind district.
So, Freya, with these wonderful, he kind of rubs his neck, gills that you've given us, how likely is this to work with the magic going wild in the water district? Because we haven't dealt with that yet. Perhaps there's a water serpent waiting for us, or who knows?
Oh, hold on a second. If I remember correctly, the Foundry still is affected by wild magic, so please roll that.
God damn
no.
it! Damn it! Yeah, you know what? I deserve.
You're fine. You're
Okay.
fine.
Okay, thank God. Tiberius is still going to lay into Freya's, being like, you know, if we go to the water district, how likely is that we're going to find a three-headed hydra or a monster made of, I don't know, ice?
1 second.
Wait, was that out of character?
That was
in
Jen.
character?
That was Jen out of character.
1 second.
That's fine, Jake. Tiberius is just going off a tangent, which is, you know...
Tiberius?
Yeah, it's Tiberius. I mean...
Sorry to keep bringing it up, but Natara, your mic again.
She continues to mute herself because she can be heard through my mic, so...
We hear everyone through their mic. And especially you. You have the worst reverb and echo going on when their mic is on, so...
Yeah, so I've got a Yeti, and she's got a webcam mic, so...
Oh, that explains it.
My Yeti will pick up the kids, like, stomping noises
I don't hear any of that. It's the webcam mic that's picking up literally everything. It's like probably playing the audio of the call and stuff through the speakers, which is going into the mic again.
What is that for, Various?
He was gonna cast spell.
Oh yeah, that fails. That works. So
I'm sorry, what was he about to cast?
Magic whistle?
Mother Ducker!
Well, that's not about to happen.
Agathis. I think that's Agathis.
No, that's 44.
40.
This, on the other hand, what level was the spell?
It was level 1.
It gets refunded back to you. So you all start seeing Various trying to cast something, but you literally see the area around them glitch and stops.
Freya's feels fear and is like, I'm going to the general store, and starts breaking off from everyone.
Speed walking away.
Does Tiberius see the glitch?
Yes, you all see it. It's almost as if Various loops back to before he casts the spell, like,
What was that, Various?
And you felt that, Various. It didn't feel good.
He doesn't answer and just storms off.
Oh, ignoring me now. Oh, how mature, Burrow. Just stomping off, hopping around like you're just some kind of, dough on some kind of rage then, is it?
So what are you looking for in the general store? The general store is a pretty homely, warm place. It's kind of enclosed compared to how most places are in Wind. It's got a nice warm light through everything, many cases showing potions, bandages, all kinds of things, and it seems to be tended to by what looks to be a primordial that's not made of wind, but of ice. So describe it to me how this happens, Various. Describe it to me.
He spins on his heel, and just, you see him gathering up the magic, and 2 or 3 bolts of force smack into Tibbs before he just basically turns around and bolts.
Are they force damage?
Yeah.
Please tell me they're force damage.
Yeah, they're forced.
Yeah.
I will abuse the living shit out of absorb elements at this point as my last level 1 spell to eat that goddamn thing and get resistance.
Roll wild magic.
Oh.
It's back. Okay,
Oh,
you're
yeah.
perfectly fine.
So I get half the damage, and I absorb, if it's force, I get some force damage in my next punch. Guess what's happening there?
Make sure you roll that. Make sure you write that down so you remember.
It only lasts for like 30 seconds, so.
So you'd have to literally run up and try to sock Various there.
The Various just bolted.
I'm not saying that's not happening. He just fired magic missiles, and Tiberius is going to chase after him to give him a punch in the back of the head.
Okay, that comes down to the case of is Various running away from him? And can
Yes.
Tibbs catch up, is the question.
Athletics, isn't it?
So, roll me contested athletics.
Oh. Can I do acrobatics? No, I can't.
No, because you're running.
Oh. Oh.
You can't catch up in time. Various has a head start.
You better run, Burrows!
The Various just ducks down some stairs and into the dark. Poor Flix and Rose have probably watched this.
I mean, I still eat half of that damage, so that's 5 force damage. So yeah, ow, but...
Your head's
Rose
spinning a little bit.
just twists their head, like, they're standing stark till they just twist their neck towards Flix. Is it just me, or are they fucking insane?
Rose asks the Fae.
Are these guys nuts? The face like, yeah. And I was just kind of pauses for a second, being like, holy shit, the rabbits are worse than the Fae. As Tiberius is shaking his little paw at Various, going, you better run, Burrows.
Inside the general store, Freus, the shopkeeper looks to be an ice primordial. Their hair is has a slicked back look, but it's almost to their shoulders. Almost looks like there's icicles hanging as their hair. They're dressed in pretty modest clothing. Kind of has a vest on over a shirt with some nicely tailored pants, and are just kind of polishing some of the cases up. They look pretty serene. A little on the... They look tired, but yeah. What would you like to get there? They do see you come in and give you a nod of recognition, but what would you like to get?
She'll nod back, look for any of the first aid or medical supplies.
And they've got plenty of those, as well as scrolls and potions.
She's going to ignore the scrolls. I know gold isn't a thing, but how much is usually a healing potion in terms of gold?
Just double check. What is the type you're going for? Because there's healing, there's basic healing, greater, superior, and supreme.
Basic for now.
They're a total of 50 GP, at least in D&D terms.
Yeah, I just want to know that base number.
Yeah, so if you have items that equal to that, they would be willing to trade for that.
Yeah, I'm just trying to make a mental number in my head. So she'll pick up a couple first aid kits.
Okay. Those aren't very expensive.
Some bandages.
Mm-hmm.
At least 3 of those potions.
Okay.
And then she'll try to find a lockpick kit.
You can't find any. You can inquire about them, though.
Yeah, it was good about to say that. She'll bring up what she has right now and just give a gentle hello.
Hello, is this all?
No, I was wondering, would you know where I can get a set of lockpicks?
They kind of grimace at this. It's like, not in the plane of wind. You may want to try a shop in water, though. That tends to be more their thing.
Okay, then I guess for now, this will be what I'll be getting.
And do you have anything to trade for these items?
She will pull out one of the diamonds.
And that diamond, I believe, is worth 300?
300, yep.
And she'll look over it, and it's like, now do you want, now I believe this total would only add up to 160. For everything, I believe. Because the healing kit and the bandages don't cost much. Maybe a gold or two.
She'd pick up at least a couple, multiple of them.
Okay.
And yeah, I know that's a little under, but hoping they will catch her. If not,
They do hold a hand up, and then go over and pick up at least 2 more of the potions and set them down. It's like, this is more equal to the trade. So add 5 potions.
Okay.
And then they'll nod and kind of put the diamond in what looks to be a little chest box on top of the counter. Thank you.
Then she will stop and before she leaves and goes, do you know where who would appreciate blacksmithing materials would be?
I would check Earth. Earth tend to be the ore munchers, as we call them.
I don't know if I'll get anything from these, but thank you. I hope you have a good day, and brain stopped. Oh yeah, that's it. Just have a good day.
And they'll just kind of give you a nod. They seem really, lack of a better term, chill.
Womp womp.
That hurt to say that.
I'm glad you said it though, Nova. Let the puns flow.
But Frias, you come out and you just see 2 buns run past in a flurry and a tizzy.
Dungeon Mom left for 5 seconds. Chaos ensued.
She just looks down, just shakes her head, and tries to look for either earth or water, whichever one closer.
Considering you're in the Wind District, you can't see them from here.
Fair enough. She'll, I guess, go towards more of the center to try and inquire about where they are.
What about everyone else? Flix, Rose?
I'm just watching this catastrophe.
I mean, that's accurate.
Yeah, Rose will still be focused on Flix. Well, I guess while we have nothing else better to do, I did come across a couple, shall we say, curios of your kind when you were away. And I was thinking maybe you might know a source that would be able to perhaps restore him to their former glory. And Rose will show Flix the Fey King tattered robe and crown.
Oh.
Yeah, they've these things are in pretty bad shape. Like, not only do you actually look upon these Flix and you realize that they would need not only a tailor to fix them, but probably some hefty materials and probably an enchanter to fix the enchantments on them, because they are broken. This is damage worn by time, and that's hard to reverse. Unless you know someone who can bend time.
If I could turn back time.
And you do know someone that can turn back time. The only problem is they tend to hang out with a very dangerous person.
Someone who's now upset at us.
Don't worry, Various. Tiberius will get there soon.
But yeah, if you ever happen to think of anyone who might be able to work on these, I guess I'll take any suggestions you got.
Now, being in your position, Flix, you do know some people that might be able to help. But again, it would take a total of like 2 or 3 different people, a lot of materials, and a lot of work.
it's doable. It's just gonna take a lot of stuff to get it done.
I figured.
But we could go see some people and get it done.
Yeah, why don't we put that on the to-do list then?
You both do see Freas finally come out of the general store, kind of just look down like, and then they start heading off toward the center ring.
Why don't we go ahead and follow Freas? At least she's gonna have a calmer demeanor around her. And Rose will start taking after Freas then.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Various. Where exactly did you go into hiding?
He's gone down into the underworks and is just sort of... He's not running anymore.
You've
as
gone
soon as
down
it
there
seems
alone.
like- Yeah, I know.
Oh boy.
You'd like to think that.
As you wind your way into the underworks, you can't see. It's dark. It is very dark, like beyond what your vision would allow you to see. You can't even make out shapes. So this is an unnatural darkness. You know, due to the fact that you've been down here once before, DS needed a special lantern to see down here. You don't have that lantern. You just have your eyes. You can, however, hear voices in the dark. They're not friendly. In fact, as you begin to move your way through some of the corridors, kind of feeling up the walls to try to find your way, you hear snickering behind you. What do you do?
Not again.
This doesn't sound mischievous. This sounds malicious. In fact, as you hear the snickering, you hear another voice pipe in. Well, another little outsider decides to wander into our territory. What should we do with them, boys? I say we pluck his ears off and feed them to the beasts further down. You can always disembowel them. I hear outsiders go for quite the pretty penny. There's a total of like 3 voices behind you.
He's going to summon Belua.
Okay. Tiberius, what are you doing?
Chasing that bloody Burrows who dared to shoot magic at me for pointing out his mistakes.
And you are now running in pure darkness.
No, that's not darkness. That's anger.
But you can't see what's in front of you. So can you roll me a 1d20? Okay. You collide with something and you hear one of the voices go, ah, jeez, what was that? And in that moment of panic, you hear scattering and then finally silence.
Burrows, is that you?
I'm fine. Leave me alone.
Not leaving you alone. You shot magic at me.
You deserved it.
That's beside the point. We're supposed to do this when we're ready.
Leave me alone.
Pick your ears up, get out of the darkness, and follow me back to Freya so that we can at least rest up so we can punch each other proper when we're well rested. Right now, we're in the dark, in a place where I can only imagine something is trying to eat our ears, and we are in danger. Now move, Burrows, before I make you.
As you guys are talking, you hear the tip-tap of footsteps approaching you.
Oh, look what you've
More
done now, Burrows.
importantly, you see a light, followed by a lantern, and a familiar figure. And that is where we're ending the session for today.
Oh no.
Look what you did.
Hey,
Look
look,
what
it's
you've done,
Death riding
Burrows.
on a pale horse.
Now, will we be able to do off the clock, or is this a...
You may do off the clock, yes.
Yeah.
And the party is split with the rabbits and everyone else. Well done, Mother Ducker. We're stuck with the curse frickin' hoarder.
Dungeon Mom had a big fright.
Yeah, hey, Burrows, what's that ring you got about you? Where'd that come from exactly?
This is where I was planning to end in the first place. You guys are gonna run into him no matter what.
Yeah, Burrows, we're into the guy you stole from. I'm sure that's gonna go over well. Thumbs up. Tiberius didn't steal from him. No, Tiberius, the level-headed one of the two, didn't steal from the person who's in charge of cursed items.
Remember, Various didn't have a choice.
Well, that's what they all say. I had to take an officer. It was calling to me.
He didn't even know he took it until later.
Yeah, let's see how they take that.
Who's to say it wasn't intentional?
I mean, that's even worse at that point. Because then Tiberius will get angry.
But that is where we'll be ending the sessions today. You are now confronted with a strange figure that you have met before.
How many eyes does a strange figure have? More than 3?
Yes.
Far more. Yeah, just yes. Just yes.
And are they well dressed for an individual with multiple eyes?
Yes.
Oh, who figured that? That's so strange. Are they black and purple?
You can say that.
What a strange random happenstance. I'm sure we're not totally
Oh,
wrong.
no.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, for your stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I knew we were running into, Burrows. This is on you and your first god-darned lopped ears. Of course, Tiberius will throw himself in front of a goddamn train to save you, but if he decides to take off your ears, you will be a funny-looking hopolition. I'm just going to say that.
Taking way too much damage.
But the party is officially currently split. If the 3 of you want to try to find your lost bunnies, you'll have to look for them in off the clock.
Oh, this is going to go well.
They're like, oh, we
If you want to
couldn't
look for them.
find them.
Oh, darn. We lost the rabbits. What a shame. How horrible it is. Oh, well. Only one of them came back. Fiddle-dee-dee.
Dungeon Mom gets angry.
Where's my babies?
Oh, Happy New Year, everyone.
Happy
New Year.
Happy New Year.
And I'm sure everything will be fine. I'm sure.
That does not sound sure.
All right. Thank you all for watching. See you next time.
I was stand by my ethnic slur.
Adios.